What's going on, guys? This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, and this is 50.
What's up? This is 50. I'm so excited. I got a treat for you wrestling fans. One of my most favorite people on earth, Mark Henry, world's strongest man.
Most favorite.
Most favorite.
World's most favorite.
World's most favorite?
Yeah, I'm the world's most favorite.
Oh, I thought it was just me. I'm kidding. I know everyone loves you. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I'm so happy to have you here. You don't understand. Everybody in our office was like super excited. They've been trying to get you here for like 2 years because these say that these are fan questions from like This Is 50 audience. It's not. It's totally from like Jeremy, the guy behind the camera.
I love fan questions because they come from a real place in people's heart.
Right.
It's not like an expose. It's not like some kind of passive aggressiveness. It's like, man, I just want to know. Right, I
just want to know about you. There's no motive, no none of that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've seen you out places and I've seen grown men walk up to you like, so I actually think I saw a man like, he looked like he was about to cry, and he was just saying how you made him confident in high school. Like there was no one else who looked like you. You know what I mean? Or looked like him rather, you know?
I mean, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of big guys, and you kind of feel that awkward stage, you know, you don't want to talk to girls because you're nervous, and, you know, they might not look at you like you look at them. So,
right.
You know, you feel this subconscious thing, you know, like I understand it.
Wait, were you like a late bloomer like that with talking to girls, or?
Oh, I bloomed early.
How early?
I left home. I left Silsbee, my little small country town. 18 years I was in Silsbee. I guess I was a 19-year-old virgin, so it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't like I was in Silsbee wilding out.
Right.
You know, nobody. And I've been in the country. I grew up in the country.
Right.
So like we were working, and it was always keep them busy. They'll stay out of trouble.
That's where you got the muscles.
That's where you get the bell and hay. You know, pushing over trees and stuff.
You've been wrestling since like your first official match was 1996.
96.
96. That's a long time. How would you say the whole wrestling world has changed?
Oh my God, it's like going from the Negro League baseball to being in the
to the major leagues.
To the major leagues.
So you're like 42.
I don't know if I'm.
No, not your age. I mean Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, I get it. I know I'm not Jackie. I don't want to even put myself like.
Right.
But you know what? Like I broke a lot of ground, and you know I made some advancements in pro wrestling that didn't exist before me.
Right.
You know, I had people like Ernie Ladd and JYD and Coco Beware and Ron Simmons, who talked to me about the business, and they also told me, hey man, for the most part, a lot of brothers was messing up back in the day.
Right.
Because either an unreliable brother or it was a brother that had been disenfranchised so much that the rebellion was, I'm gonna whoop everybody, I'm gonna fight everybody, you know, and it was like, man, you gotta change that.
You gotta channel it to just.
So I was able to intellectualize the business some too. We had a lot of smart guys that came through, but never got to show it.
Right.
You know, sometimes you're playing, you know, Coco Beware. You know, there's no knock on Coco Beware. He was wild, he was flamboyant, but there was never a guy that was like a legitimate champion that came in.
Right.
And got to be a legitimate champion coming in, and I got to be that guy. And Ron Simmons was the closest thing. Florida State grad, All-American. You know, was in the Heisman running as a defensive player. I mean, he was incredible, and he came in and was able to revolutionize the game. And I just had to take it further, and that's what we have our African American and brown wrestlers doing today.
Well, you just mentioned how other guys who were coming in weren't so focused. Did you always want to do this? Is that how you were able to just?
I was always a fan.
Okay.
like my grandmother started taking me to watch wrestling when I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
And we would get on a Greyhound bus.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but I didn't know wrestling was like.
Oh my God! Listen, you go in the South, anywhere from Mississippi to Texas, all the way up some to the Midwest, and wrestling is a religion.
Oh yeah, I'm from the South, so I remember it as a kid.
And it's grandmamas and grandpapas. They're the ones that are like, you know, do you see what Jake Snake did? You know, you dirty bastard. You know, like
they're so invested.
Oh, so invested. And that's what happened to me. Like my grandma was like, come on, let's go. Andre the Giant is wrestling.
And you just caught the bug.
Man, I was like, I like that. That's me.
I mean, were you always like a big, Mark, you're huge. Like, were you always, like, were you one of those kids? You know what, Paul? You know what? I get in trouble with a word like that every time I interview somebody.
Huge.
Oh my God, get your mind out of
It's been said, ladies and gentlemen.
Out of the bowling alley. No, were you like a huge kid? Always?
Always. I got a kid now. My son is 11 years old. He's 5'1.5" and 140 pounds. I was 50 pounds heavier than him at the same age.
You think Jacob's gonna be taller, bigger?
He's gonna be taller than I am, I think, but he's not gonna be as big. But like I was always a big kid, man. I got called Fat Albert, McGilla Gorilla, Hugo, you name it.
That was never met with like a bad temper and
I was getting to that. Like I spent a lot of my childhood in juvenile detention schools because I didn't know, and nobody explained to me that, you know, it's a gift to be a big, strong dude.
Right.
Like, you know, I looked at it as being a curse, and I hated it, and I lashed out.
Right.
And you know, and I got in trouble. I hurt people's kids, and you know, a lot of that I regret. But I was raised hit first.
Right.
Because
that's that Southern
being
stuff.
in the South, and you know, if you let people walk on you, they're gonna walk on you for the rest of your life. So it was a different mentality that I grew up with. And my mom was like the guy that has the pit bulls, and he feed them gunpowder and bump heads and stuff. My mom used to, man, she put us in boxing, karate. She was like, you ain't never coming home saying you got your ass whooped.
Right. I'm sitting you back outside for round two.
You're going to fight again.
Right.
You know, you better win this time or you're going to have it with me. And you're like, oh. You know, so it was like I grew up in an environment where I was introduced to, you know, hand-to-hand combat pretty early.
Right.
And, you know, I don't not like it and feel like it was a travesty that a kid was put in that spot, but I wouldn't. I'm not pushing my kids for sports and combat and stuff. I want them to be balanced people. But I think being around.
I was gonna say, your son or your daughter, they have no interest.
Both of them. Oh my God, they athletes. They just track.
But wrestling,
basketball,
maybe.
tennis. My son, he wants to wrestle now.
How you feel about that?
I was like, Jacob, they'll smash you. He was like, no, they won't. And I was like, Jacob, you're 11. Give yourself at least 4 or 5 more years, and then come talk to me. But right now, like, they don't smash your face. And he was like, whatever, Dad. Whatever.
You don't know.
You don't know me.
When would you say, you just said that for a while, you know, you felt like being a big kid was like a curse. When would you say you got past that and was like, you know what? Hulk smash.
Man, I remember the first time that I went to the junior state championships in powerlifting and won. And I'm 14, I come back and, you know, everybody gets, you know, it was a different time. We used to say the pledge and all that stuff in class.
Right.
And they had the announcements. And they was like, over the weekend, Mark Henry won the junior state championships on the PA. Oh, I was the coolest kid in the town. I was live.
So you like,
I was like, oh.
Sex with Chocolate has been born.
You did that? I was like, yeah, man, I got to go to Houston. You know, Houston is a big city.
Right.
But it's like, you know, it was like an hour and a half from my little small country town.
It was big to you?
But it was big to everybody else. Everybody was like, man, you went to Houston? Like, is it big as they say it is?
You went to Hollywood?
Yeah, man, buildings can't look up and see the top of them. You know?
So that announcement of the PA, is that when Sexual Chocolate was born?
No, Sexual Chocolate came, wasn't born until after coming to America. I mean, I actually got the pleasure of meeting Barry Bloom, who wrote the movie Coming to America, and the first thing he asked me when he saw me was, he's like, so where'd you come up with the name Sexual Chocolate? And I was like, you know what? I was watching Coming to America. And then he said, you know I wrote that.
Right, he's trying to hit you with a copyright infringement.
I was like, no, man, I just thought that Randy Watson was the funniest thing in the world at that time. And just trying to embody a character that would fit in wrestling, where he was just so enamored with himself and women and love, and baby, I want to take you to the moon, and we're gonna see the stars, and you know, and all of this stuff, and then you get rolled up. 1, 2, 3. Oh God, dog.
Oh, you okay?
But, you know, we still gonna go out tonight. You know, I lost.
But
Sexual Chocolate was fun. It was a lot of fun, and here it is, 2017, and I cannot get in the ring without Sexual Chocolate. It happened in every match.
I've witnessed that actually at a match before. I actually went to a wrestling match, yes. I've gone, I've seen.
Special.
I know.
I love you for that.
I know. But I got it. So you've been in the game for so long. 1996, here we are. It's 2017, like you just said. Yeah. The world is different. We have like social media and all this other stuff. How would things be different if social media existed back then?
It'd be a lot more divorce.
Woo, woo,
what would happen?
Woo.
Man, just like social media back then, it would have been bad because our company went corporate probably 2004, 2003, 2004. A lot of mandates came down.
Right.
There was always drug testing, but now we had random drug testing. And we had mandatory drug screening and heart screening and physicals, and the list goes on of that stuff. But we also got these corporate mandates. You can't do this, you can't do that, no fraternizing this, and no you gotta wear dress clothes in the airport.
Right.
And like they started crazy, like suits.
Right.
Like you gotta wear a suit. And then it went from suit to business casual. And then it went to, okay, you can wear tennis shoes as long as they're, you know, not like
white folk. They can't be Jumpman
sneakers,
Jordans.
like, yeah. So it's like they've you know, worked it down. But it's once we went corporate, it changed a lot because the board basically dictated what and how we were perceived.
Right.
And they didn't want us putting the black eye on the gang, if you know what I'm saying. So, you know, we had to comply.
A whole bunch of people wanted like a good Owen Hart story.
Oh my God. The best Owen Hart story I could think of was me and him calling and pranking my mom. Oh yeah.
Are you serious?
Nobody was exempt. Nobody was exempt. Oh, we got everybody. Owen used to call and prank his dad at least once a week.
What?
Yes, he would call.
Wait,
Stu.
and wouldn't he know by like week 3?
Owen was
you guys?
he was the master of disguises and voices. Like he would call Stu, he would call his dad. Before I get to my mom, he would call his dad. He would be like, "Is this Stu Hart?" And he was like, "Yeah, this is Stu. Stu, there's a gentleman saying here that he is your son." And he was like, "Nah, I have 4 sons, and that's it." He's like, "No, we did some DNA testing."
Oh my God.
And you have a kid outside your home.
Oh.
And he's, "That's bullshit. I never done that." And like would go off, and then he'd be like, "No, Dad, I'm just playing with you." Like,
well, that's horrible.
It was crazy. But like we called my mom, and Owen said, "Excuse me, is this Miss Barbara Jean?" He's like, "Yes." And I'm with the IRS, and you haven't paid taxes in the last 5 years, and we're gonna have to come take your house.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
I never in my life heard my mom use the MF word.
No, she didn't.
Never in my life. And she was like, you can come on if you want to.
Oh!
And she went off, and she was cussing and everything. And I was like, I mean, this is the woman at the church.
Right,
My mom, hey, if there's anybody that's going to sit to the left hand of God, it's
gonna
her.
be her.
And man, she was cussing like a sailor. And I finally got to the point to where I could breathe again. And I said, Mom, stop. It's me and Owen. And she was like, I'm gonna whoop your ass when you get home. She threatened to whoop a grown man. Oh man,
I'm sure. What are your thoughts on Jake the Snake and Jerry Lawler?
I love the fact that Jake the Snake was able to get clean after so many years of being on drugs and stuff. And I would like to think that Diamond Dallas Page should be commended as much as anybody.
Right.
I will judge wrestlers off their wrestling careers, and
Right.
not judge them by everything that happened after. But I'm proud that he got clean. I'm glad that Dallas Page was able to help him get clean. Excuse me. Jerry Lawler is one of the funniest people I ever met in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is a natural born comedian.
Okay.
And loves being the honorary mayor of Memphis. And, just conduct himself in a way that you would think, okay, this is a guy that really actually needs to be somebody in office. He loves the city, like the people that live there love it, and
Right.
it's not from a political standpoint. He loved it because he just wanted to be better. He wanted to be in the views that it'll be comfortable for everybody.
Right.
And Jerry Lawler's always been a fun person to be around. He never comes to work mopey. Almost died on TV a few years ago, and came back cracking jokes. And it was like, man, y'all should have let me go. I still owe all this money in taxes. I'm just like, all right, Jerry, come on, man. It's too soon
All right.
to
You
joke
gotta
about
tell.
you being dead, and you was almost dead.
Right.
So.
Well, you have to tell the almost dead person that is the
don't
problem.
tell the almost dead story.
Well, we know who Jeremy's top 10 favorite wrestler is. Who are your top 10 favorite wrestlers?
Top 10 all time.
All time.
Andre the Giant, number 1.
Okay.
Iron Sheik, number 2.
Okay.
Undertaker. Bret Hart. Golly, JY. It's a. You can flip a coin. JYD and Ron Simmons are back to back.
Right.
Like, they could be anywhere from 5th to 10th.
Well, just say like Donald Trump. It could be all sides of the coin.
Oh God, no! Let's don't. I threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Many sides.
Man, 8. You know what I have to say? The big cat, Ernie Ladd. Ernie Ladd, man, you could hit Ernie Ladd in the knee, and he would grab it. Oh, he would always like his ear hurt or something.
Really?
Like, oh, it was hilarious. Go back and look at some Ernie Ladd videos, and him and Dusty Rhodes, and there's a lot of people that will say, man, you didn't mention like great wrestlers. I'm talking about from a fan standpoint.
Right.
Doink the Clown,
Okay.
like, is 9, 10. Didn't wrestle for the WWE. Mr. Wrestling, number 1. And then they had right behind him Mr. Wrestling number 2.
Okay.
Like, either one of those two, like Mr. Wrestling number 1 or Mr. Wrestling number 2 could be 10.
You love the performance of it
I like
too.
performers.
Right. So forget with these people. If anybody's talking about questioning your top 10. All right, let's play a game. I'm the little person on the bicycle, like in Saw. I'm gonna say a name, and I just want the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Amber Rose,
Hot.
The Rock,
A workaholic.
Black China.
Who?
Whew, okay. Steve Austin. I love
One
that.
of the most, one word,
Uh-huh.
energized.
Okay. Triple H,
Corporate.
Bret Hart,
Rebel.
Shawn Michaels, first word.
You can't.
You cheated.
You can't describe Shawn Michaels with one word. I mean, Shawn. I mean, excellent.
Okay. Okay. John Cena,
Icon.
The Undertaker,
Peerless.
Razor Ramon.
Colorful.
Okay. Jerry Lawler,
A comedian.
Big Show,
Dominant.
Kane,
Scary.
Ashley Ray.
Hot.
Oh!
Did I use hot already?
You said for Amber Rose. That's actually funny for another
Y'all
reason.
hot.
I'll tell you why later. Thank you so much, Mark. It's always a treat. Usually I arm wrestle him and beat him.
We're gonna let you make it. I don't want to get no blood on me.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to take nobody's belt today. You know what I'm talking about? But thank you so much for coming by. I know this was a
Thank
treat
you for
for
having me.
like everybody here. Mark Henry, world's strongest man, my favorite person on earth. We're out, y'all.